Welcome back, everyone, to The Next Normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. All week, we've been focusing on my album, Inclusion Revolution. Boy, do we need it now in the United States of America. The country has been here before. It's a healing that is required. I wrote a piece the other day. I didn't publish it publicly, but it gave me some healing in my writing of it. And the question that I asked myself is, if there were two candidates running for president, and one was a little bit on the rough side, very judgmental, critical, they didn't say a lot of nice things about people, about the opponent, about certain countries, states. And the piece that I wrote was, what if this candidate was very respectful? Would the candidate have won? And I think they would have. And I actually think that it wouldn't have created the emotional pain that it did in the country. I just think that it wouldn't have created the kind of a despair that the country is feeling. I think it wouldn't be such a feeling of sense of loss or fear the way that it feels. Yeah, it might be a woman didn't win. Okay, we're going to try again. But what makes it so intense, it was the negative rhetoric and the negative conversation, the negative way it was conveyed, and why majority of the country bypassed the behavior because of something that they tuned into, whether it was the image of a man that comes to protect you, the image of a Caucasian man who's your savior, maybe the protection of the color of the skin, that whiteness is what I need to gain power. I don't have power in my country anymore because everywhere I look, people are brown or black or different or speaking a different language. I understand. I wouldn't want strangers walking into my house and telling me what to do and how to live, even if my house is a mess. I have no idea, but there is this time period upon us where there's a need for an inclusion revolution. A revolution to feel included wherever and whoever we are. Don't you agree? Think about it. An inclusion revolution. That the revolution is that we can all get along and we can all live together in the same country, on the same earth. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just daydreaming. But yet in my own life, I've seen what my goodness has created. I've seen how living a life of accepting all and respecting people and being thoughtful about the feelings of other people, it has given me such peace of mind. I am so at peace with my life. I'm trying to compete. I'm not trying to disempower anyone. I'm not trying to force anyone to do something I don't want them to do. I might not always be happy with the way things are, but I'm not peaceless every day walking around wondering who gets what and why they should get it and who gets this chance and this one shouldn't get a chance or a break. You look at a garden of flowers, they're a variety, and for some reason they all thrive. They seem to be getting along. Some look pink, blue, roses, jasmine, hibiscus, birds of paradise. Everything is in the same space, but they stand firm on their own, and Nature has shown us how inclusivity is beauty. And nature has shown us that we can be different and still thrive. Nature. And yes, if there's a particular area that you plant only corns, and that's all you're manufacturing of corns, then that's great, but people can't survive only on corns. After a while, if you just keep eating corns, you're going to be bored with life. It's not going to be valuable for you. But if there's corns and watermelon and oranges and apples and bananas and potatoes and strawberries and tomatoes and figs and persimmon and cherries, wow. In the same farm. An inclusion revolution is what's required now. To be able to look at your neighbor as a soul-conscious being and to appreciate their diversity, their difference, and to ask them questions. What's it like to be you? What do you wish for? What do you need? And I will agree, in many ways I love the times that we're in, because people are beginning to wake up to up their game as people. We've become too lazy, too slack, too much in our comfort zones. Just taking from the society, but not really giving back as much as we take. It's an amazing time. But also it's important for us to stay included, to have this revolution of the beauty that's within us. Not the enemy within, but the beauty within. Creates an inclusive revolution. The beauty within you and me, living together in the same earth, in the same country, is one of the most beautiful things to experience. When people are safe, when they're in their self-respect of the color of their skin, the color of their eyes, their political party, their country, their language, there's a self-respect to it, so there's a welcoming to learn more. What's it like to be Spanish? Do you think it's Spanish or English when you speak to me? What's your food like? When you dance, how are you feeling? When you do salsa and the merengue? When you do dance hall music and you're Jamaican, what's coming out of you? Tell me. I want to know who you are. I want to understand you. And for those that love classic music, Bach, Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, what do you feel when you listen to that music? It's completely different than hip hop and rap. They're all God's children. When you listen to Tchaikovsky, what are you feeling? What goes on inside? Where do you go in your thoughts? That's how you need to talk to each other, to understand each other. One time I did an event at the museum, and it was a table of a diverse group of people who were leaders. And I asked somebody who was Caucasian, what's it like to be a white person in front of black people? Nobody has ever asked them that question. I mean, they looked at me like, I've never been asked that before. I said, yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I'm going to give you an example. When I'm with you, I really don't feel you're white. I just, as you can see, everybody in my world is of a different race, a different background, different culture, different political views. I think everyone's God's children. So my connection with people is that we're all God's children. But when you're with black people or Chinese people as a white person, what do you think? She was floored by the question, and her answer was so beautiful. And then I turned the question to those who were African Americans. How do you feel when you're in the company of American white people? Their answer was quite revealing too. But both sides got a chance to see what their fears were for each other. And at that moment, everyone, I created an inclusion revolution. That once they both understood who they thought about or how they thought about the other person, it brought them together, and they're best friends. Everybody was best friends, and they left with, wow, I never thought I was thinking that way. So the revolution that is required now is that we all must get along. Try to walk in the other person's shoe. Start to ask people questions without judgment, just out of the desire to learn. And then come together and build your country, build your family, build your workplace, build the environment, build the world, just like nature. Nature has a variety of trees and plants and vegetables, and they get along. And the only thing that happens with nature is if a natural calamity comes and blows it all down. And what happens after a tsunami, a hurricane, a tornado, an earthquake, automatically starts to grow back as a variety. All right, so listen to this track, Inclusion Revolution. Please enjoy it.
A vision of love. Let me take this time, this very sacred time, and sit in the emerged awareness that I am a companion to all human beings. Feel that. I see you. I honor the part you're playing. I thank you for being you, because only you can play your part, and only I can play mine. We stand together on the stage of life. As I greet you, I greet myself. As I see the beauty in you, I see the beauty in me. And when I hear you, you can hear me. To support your part, I play my part the best I can. I will be loyal and committed to the part I've been given, even if it's still not clear and it continues to shift and change. But what I do know is I sit here in a vision of love, that I have good wishes for you, my fellow traveler on the journey. Because each and every one of us come from the same source, God, the Supreme Being. I know we are stronger together than divided. And at this very special moment, I hold this vision of love and allow a greater peace, goodness, and harmony to thrive for you, for me, and for our world.
Amazing, huh? I tell you, play back these tracks, listen to them over and over again. Let's go to this amazing, amazing revolutionary, our beautiful Sister Gita. Here's the Sister Gita effect.
Did you know that the soul has 136 variety virtues stored in them? How often are we using those virtues? This morning, I, the soul, have selected the virtue of compassion. A compassionate person develops an eye for spotting the qualities that make each person special. Even when others are at their lowest ebb, it is possible to help them restore their self-respect, their belief in themselves, by keeping a firm, clear vision of their goodness and specialities. Taking a gently encouraging approach, I must never give up on anyone. This is a deeper sense of compassion. We're all compassionate beings, number one, so let's use our compassion today. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Blessings to you, Sister Gita, wherever your soul is today. And thank you for your blessings on my head too. Thank you. All right, so this whole week we're focusing on meditations on my album Inclusion Revolution, which you can listen to on Spotify or YouTube. It's free. It's just about healing, trying to pull the spiritual truths out of this material world. Far too often we focus on the material and forget the spiritual realities. We have to stop that. Stay strong. What is right is right. Don't stop being a good person. But what is wrong is also right. There's significance in it. It's leading us somewhere. It's opening us up to something more. You will learn something. There is benefit in these scenes. Look for that. Practice loving everybody the same. Your life will be easy. Thank you for joining us on The Next Normal. Take care.